we go. All right, I'm Dan, and we're here at Gen Con 2010 covering the show for GameSalute.com. We're here with Andy Looney, the owner and one of the owners and the chief designer at Looney Labs. So welcome to the show, Andy.
Hi there. It's good to be here. Thanks a lot.
And Andy has designed Flux and a ton of other games. You go to LooneyLabs.com for all the information on that. And this is the new hotness. It's not yet out. We have a hot off the presses preview copy that Andy has here to show us. Back to the Future, the card game.
Yes, indeed, and we're very, very excited about this. Back to the Future, the card game is, of course, based on the Back to the Future movies, but it's also based on my time travel card game, Chrononauts, which has been around for about 10 years and is just an excellent engine for designing a Back to the Future themed game around.
Oh, we need a time travel game. I wonder what we could use. Oh, look, Chrononauts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, to take the story back just a step, we last couple of years ago we did Monty Python Flux. And that was such a big hit for us. That was our first foray into the world of licensed themed sort of games. And you know, we had so much success with it, we said, well, what else can we do? What would be another good license? And it didn't take too long to realize that a Back to the Future themed version of Chrononauts was just a match made in heaven. And I started working on the timeline, and I put together actually, I made a hand-drawn timeline for my wife, Kristen, the president and co-founder of the company, as a Christmas gift last Christmas.
We just watched this. I just watched this series again recently, and we realized that it's 2015 is like the 30 years in the future when they go into the future, and we're like, oh yeah, it's so far. Wait a minute, that's coming right up.
It sure is, and I haven't seen any flying cars or hoverboards yet, but
or zip pants or boots or whatever.
A lot of things in that future that they didn't quite get right, but a lot of things they did. I mean, I've been watching them again a lot, as you might know, and you might imagine, and I'm impressed by some of the details they got right.
So it looks like this lays out pretty much like Chrononauts. You've got the whole timeline here, and you've got ripple points and linchpins. And I know a lot of people have just been like, oh, it's just the Chrononauts card game just with a Back to the Future theme. And I know it's not quite that. That's been changed a little bit. So we'll look forward to seeing how that differs.
Yeah, no, it's got a number of significant differences, improvements, and changes over Chrononauts. Chrononauts is about, it's 10 years old at this point. And I've learned a few things about game design and improving my craft over those years. So when it came time to revisit the design for this, I found a number of ways to improve it and change it. One of the biggest differences for Chrononauts fans is that the Paradox patch system is gone. The ripple points just have the other side right on them, so it makes for a lot faster play. The other really big difference is that instead of merely getting your character's goals set right and then saying you win, you have to get them set right and then uninvent time travel by changing interfering with Doc Brown's invention of time travel causes all time machines everywhere to become uninvented. That ends the game right there. So it's kind of a new end game technique that I'm really pleased with. And it's also got just fabulous art. I don't know what you might want to pull in on, but our artist Derek Ring, the same guy who did all the art for Zombie Flux and some of our other things, he did just a killer job on these arts.
So we'll get some close-up shots of these, but they are all. It looks like hand drawn. They're illustrated, but they're pretty beautifully illustrated, and they're all based on the actual pictures. So you kind of look at the car and it's like, oh, is that a picture of? Oh no, that's not a picture of a car. That's an illustrated car.
Yeah. They're all. He works in Illustrator, so that these hand-drawn, not hand-drawn, but computer line-drawn illustrations that just look so good. And as you can see, I've managed to capture just an awful lot of stuff from the movie, and the timeline works so well. Like, of course, it's all about the gray sports almanac. That's the most powerful thing here. And so, if you give that to Biff, if Biff gives the sports almanac to his younger self, that causes all these great ripples in time. Here, he wins big at the racetrack. He engineers the murder of George McFly so that he can marry Lorraine. He opens a casino, and he even gets...
And so the letter, so it says B2, and so all that happens when you hit that one ripple point?
When you hit that one ripple, when you hit the one linchpin, the B2 linchpin causes all these ripples, but that's the most dramatic one. Most of them do at least one, a couple of them, but that's, if you remember the movie, the Sports Almanac alternate reality was a big part of it, so we've managed to reflect all that in the game.
And so this covers all three of the movies?
Yes, it does. The top the timeline stretches from 1885 to 2015. So you've got the Western phase, the 50s, and all the way into the distant future of 2015.
Cool. We got some nice colorful action cards there too.
Oh, of course, yeah. We've got some great ones. Don't Be So Gullible McFly, very favorite one. Everybody loves it.
You got chicken in there?
Chicken, no, not as such. Yeah, we do have, we've already thought of some promo cards. In fact, one of them is going to be coming out right away. It's the Pizza Hydrator.
Yes.
You know, really cool artifact, but it wasn't really crucial to the game. But so we couldn't quite squeeze it in. You know, there's a lot of stuff. When you only have 100 cards, it's sometimes hard to squeeze every little bit in. So we made that as a promo card.
And you wanted to keep it all as one card. You didn't want to do like Back to the Future Part 2 or...
Oh, no. There's the three movies together create a wonderfully rich timeline. Each on its own would be spreading it too thin.
And this is 2 to 6 players. Ages 11 and up is the recommended. And if you're not familiar with Chrononauts plays a bit longer than this, maybe an hour and a half. This one says 20 to 60 minutes. Is that about right in your estimation?
Yeah, well, Chrononauts is also, your estimate's a little long. Unless you're playing Uber Chrononauts, then that can be a long time. This can be a little bit longer. One of the things is a little more unpredictable because of the system of ending the game by uninventing time travel. So what you want to do is flip the one that says, instead of Doc Brown invents the flux capacitor, it's he hangs a clock in his bathroom, doesn't slip and bump his head and have the idea for the flux capacitor. But because of the structure here with five copies of that year, most of them do nothing. They say mysterious forces prevent you from doing this. But when you hit it, it takes it out of the game. So it grinds to an end.
So it could be the top card or it could be the fifth card.
Exactly so. So it's harder to predict how long it's going to be because you could have a short game where somebody gets it and it's the very first one right out of the gate. And on the other hand, you might grind all the way down to that bottom card before you get it.
So the game, it says the game is ended. So the game is over at that point, then you see who wins?
Yeah, well, usually it's going to be that the person who flips this one has everything set right so that they win.
So there's nothing that accidentally flips that.
You don't want to do it if you're not going to be the one who wins, yeah.
Great. So you got all your cool actions, you got the timeline, you got all your, is this equipment or what's that?
Well, this is like the equipment, and then these are time machines. Basically, you kind of hitch a ride on the DeLorean. And one of the things I really liked about the movies is the way the car itself is kind of like a character. I mean, it goes through all these phases. It starts out where you need plutonium to run it. Then they reconfigure it so that lightning will activate the time circuits. Then it goes into the future and it gets all tricked out with flying circuits and Mr. Fusion, so it doesn't even need the hoverboard anymore. I mean the plutonium anymore. Then it's like it gets stuck in the past and spends 70 years in a cave, and they have to replace the wheels. Remember that weird thing on the hood? So we call that one the old and cranky. And then the ultimate version, the last gasp of it is where it's on the train tracks, and you need an overpowered locomotive to push it up to 88 miles an hour. So we
have the time train there too.
Well, that's the ultimate. The time train is like the Cadillac of time vehicles. This is the one you want. If you're choosing one, this has the best advantages because you get to play this, change history, and then play another card afterwards. It's super powerful. But it's the time train. It's the best one.
Cool. So anything else we need to know about how the game plays, or I mean, it's pretty much just on your turn. How many cards do you have to start?
It's like all my games. You have a hand of 3 cards to start, draw one, and play one on your turn. One thing it's a little innovation on the rules is from my games is that if you can't play a card or just don't want to, you can instead of being stuck, you draw another card instead of playing one. Okay. We call that the option. You can exercise that option anytime you don't want to play. Of course, you also have a character card. These are the backs of the character cards.
What's that? What's the Cusco from?
The Cusco is it's the company that that Marty McFly works for in the year 2015. So it's my vision of it is that it's like further and further into the future. There's like fewer and fewer corporations that just own everything. And we don't know what they do. We don't really know what his job is. But we see the badge. There's the business where Needle scams him into getting in on the thing, and so he runs his card. And so we see, for one quick glimpse, we see this card in the movie. And so my vision is that all of the characters. See, here's the thing: your character card spells out all the stuff you need to do, and there are these kind of third generation characters. Like you could be Marty McFly the third. or various others, Jules McFly, or one of my favorites, Buffy Tannen, or Tiffany Tannen, or Vern Brown is the one real character. Vern Brown is Doc Brown's kid, one of the two that we see on the train in the very end of the last film. So my what I think this, my kind of backstory is, this is now, he's older, Vern Brown's grown up 15, 16, 20, whatever he is, old enough to get in trouble. He steals his dad's time train and goes back and has adventures, and then the other characters get caught up in that as well.
That's cool. So you've actually been able to affect the narrative of that kind of universe.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, I'm advancing the story a little bit. I've tried to be as authentic as I possibly can, and I'm really, really proud of how I've done it. Most of the timeline is real events straight out of the movie, both sides. Wherever I've had to kind of fill in things or close in gaps, I've tried to be as faithful as I can to what I think makes sense. There were a couple of areas where I just had to use creative license because we just don't know. We're not shown, and particularly in the characters, my view is it's way in the future now, and these are descendants of the characters from the movies. So I have freedom to say whoever they are, And I don't go into a whole lot of detail. I'll just make up some names.
That's great. So Back to the Future is due out September 4th?
September 3rd in game stores everywhere.
And you can pre-order it now. And is the first promo card coming out with the release?
Yeah, the Pizza Hydrator will be available along with the product at game stores that carry the whole marketing package.
And it's $20, I think?
That's right.
Okay. Great. Well, it looks awesome. I'm really looking forward to playing it, and I appreciate you joining us here at Gen Con 2010. Andy Looney, have a great rest of the show.
I will. Thank you also.